Let's do our weekly update on congressional redistricting. Something's happening this week with Judge Lewis. Let's talk about it.
Well, this one isn't quite so clear cut, but Judge Lewis is Florida Supreme Court has sent back the congressional redistricting case to Judge Terry Lewis, the Leon County Circuit Judge, who's been overseeing this case for a few years. And the Supreme Court held out the hope that, or the possibility at least, the legislature would come back into session and redraw the congressional map, sort of take it out of the court's role. But the House and the Senate still can't come to agreement on this. So it looks like Judge Lewis is going to be recommending a congressional map for the state of Florida. He is, as we speak, he is getting proposals from the House, the Senate, and the voting rights groups and the other plaintiffs who challenged the map that was drawn by the legislature in 2012. He will have a hearing on September 24th to essentially, help determine what direction he wants to go. He could take one of the maps that's submitted to him. He could probably mix and match a little bit, but he's going to be guided by what the Florida Supreme Court ruled, which was that the current map does not comply with the Fair Districts amendments that voters passed in 2010 to prevent gerrymandering. And in some cases, the Supreme Court gave very specific instructions that Judge Lewis will have to follow. So, the Supreme Court has basically given him until, I believe it's October 17th, mid-October, to make his recommendation. Then the Supreme Court will act on it. There's federal court challenges out there as well, or federal court cases out there as well. But this is a big step, what Judge Lewis does. We've
said this before. We'll say it again. The House is not interested in meeting in special session, correct?
Yeah, the Senate, again, after the Supreme Court sent it back to Judge Lewis, the Senate floated the idea saying we're still willing to go into special session and resolve this issue. And the House said, well, if the Senate doesn't come up with better, essentially come around to where we are, where the House is, then, we don't see a need for a special session. So there doesn't look like any realistic possibility or likelihood that they're going to resolve this in the legislature. It looks like it's going to be resolved in the courts.
Who would have thought that the judiciary would be drawing these lines?
Well, the Republican legislative leadership complains about the judiciary all the time, but in this case, they've sort of teed it up for the judiciary to make the decisions.
Thank you, Jim. For more news about Florida politics and government, visit the Advances section of our website.